warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Akila Shahira binti Abdul Aziz with the metric number of 265455. Me and my group mate will be presenting about the speech analysis about why we should end animal agriculture. For the introduction, what is public speaking? Public speaking is a presentation that is given live to the audience. There are some elements and skills that speakers need to take into consideration while delivering the speech. The speakers deliver their speech in purpose to educate, to entertain, and to influence the audience. In this speech analysis, we are trying to analyze some elements and skills in the public speaking during Jasiri's speech. For the first question, how does the speakers get attention and interest of the audience? The speakers was able to gain attention and interest of the audience. It is by questioning a couple of questions to get the attention of his audience. For the first question, how many of you are vegetarian or vegan? The audience gave good feedback as they responded by raising up their hands for the question. The feedback means that he managed to gain attention towards his speech. Jasiri also used visual aids. The use of visual aids is to get attention and interest and also gave some information to make the audience catch the message. He used a photo as a visual aids. The audience gave a good feedback by laughing when he shows a meme to them. Okay, for the second question, does the speakers establish his or her credibility? What does credibility mean? Credibility is an audience perception of whether a speaker is qualified to speak on a certain topic or not. The speakers need to have relevant content, especially when presenting to the audience with a professional background. In the speech, the speaker shows his credibility when he said, "I'm even a preachy vegan who always tells everyone I meet about the problems of animal farming and etc." Based on his word, it shows that he has a credibility in delivering his speech because he is a preachy vegan, the people who always encourage others to go vegan and stop animal farming. Second question, he also said that, "I grew up in a rural Texas. I spent a lot of time around farm animals, lounging on the green pastures." From that statement, it makes him qualified to deliver the speech because he has a lot of experience as he was growing up in the rural areas surrounded by the farm animals. For the third question, does the speaker preview the body of the speech? The speaker did preview the body of the speech clearly as he revealed some hints about the topic before he goes to the main point. He gave statistics from the government that he said that finally, animal farming is just incredibly expensive. It receives 38 billion in the subsidies every year from the US government. Okay, for the full sentence you can see in the slide. Okay, he also previews that there is an urgent social issues about the need that to be fixed in animal agriculture. Some overview that he was going to deliver is a speech about why people should end animal agriculture.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Maman Irfan Madrasi, my metric number 259489. Next, the most important key that any speaker need to emphasize in the speech is the main point. By doing this, it will help the audience to understand more about the content of the speech. There were two main points of the speech which were effective altruism and innovation. The point in the speech that the speaker said seemed to be clear and relevant because he gave the best reason based on fact. Effective altruism is defined as a social movement that advocates using evidence and reasoning to determine the most effective way to benefit others. He wants to convince that ending animal farming is possible and layout of series of steps might be achieved if done in the right way. The second main point was an innovation. Innovation defined as an adoption, assimilation and exploitation of value added in economic. Renewal and enlargement of product and services, also development of new method of production. The speaker thought that the world is on the precipice of technological shift that could end animal farming forever by changing the way the world eats and dramatically improving the environment. So, the organized main point will make the audience more understand about the message that will be delivered. Besides, the purpose of supported main point was to explain the content of speech and can be shown by giving an example or reason that related to the topic. In the statement, the main point of effective altruism and innovation was supported by providing a hypothetical and brief example to tackle the issue of animal agriculture. The effective altruism was supported with hypothetical example when he said that the approach of companies like Beyond Meat, Hungry Planet and Impossible Food, they have already succeeded in making a beef burger made from plant. Many consumers can even tell the difference. The speaker encouraged the audience to think about the other efficient and ethical way to consume burger without taking the meat from the animal by giving example of incident that happened. He also told that they do not have to kill the cow in order to get the meat, but they can use plant resources. In the speech making, clear organization is an essential. It is vital to make sure that audience can follow the progression of ideas in the speech. In the 13th edition of the Art of Public Speaking textbook, Stephen E. Lucas stated that in developing a strong sense of speech organization, the first step to gain command of 3 necessary parts of speech: introduction, body and conclusion. 5 basic patterns of organization and used most often by public speakers, which are chronological order, spatial order, causal order, problem solution order and topical order. In the speech, the type of organization used by the speaker was problem solution order. He began the main point by talking about existence and solution of problem of animal farming. For example, as taken from the speech, and even appreciate vegan who tell everyone that I meet the problem of animal farming because I really do think it was our most important issue for our time. He then continues the speech by providing some solution to the problem. One we can take with the tool of effective altruism, we can see clearly that the speech was divided into 2 parts. The first show the existence and seriousness of problem, while the second part present the solution or potential to the problem.
My name is Nurul Syamimi binti Suhaimi and my metric number is 256044. Next is about language. The use of words is very important in deliberate speech to make sure that the audience can understand the speech given. Based on this speech, the speaker did not use the language clearly. He used some obscure words such as artificial selections and atrocious help while delivering his speech. For well-informed audience, they probably can figure out what these words mean, but not for others' audience. So, the speaker should use simpler words that is more familiar and understandable for the audience. Even though the speaker did not use the language clearly, but he did use the language vividly. There are 2 ways to use language vividly, which are imagery and rhythm. In this speech, the speaker used one of the rhythm, which was repetition. Based on the slides, we can see that he kept repeating the phrase "what if". He used it to illustrate the questions that the audience may have when he tells them about the idea of his solutions. In any speech, using connective is crucial. Connective is the word or phrase that connects the idea of the speech and indicates the relationship among them. There are 4 types of connective, which are transitions, signposts, internal summaries, and internal previews. In this speech, the speaker used transitions and signposts as his connective. Transitions is a word or phrase that indicates when the speaker has just completed one thought and is moving on to another. By saying that, I think that we can all agree that this is an urgent social issue that we desperately need to fix. The speaker actually gave it a sign that the problems on animal agriculture had just completed and revealed the thoughts about to be developed by saying finding solution to this seemingly intractable issue was also a fascinating intellectual problem. For signposts, he used it to help the audience keep track of the number of evidence of his strategy. From minute 8.09 till minute 10.12, he used first, second, and finally. He listed it to make it easier for the audience to see the flow of his speech. Moving on to the next slide is about reasoning. Reasoning is the process of drawing a conclusion based on evidence. It is an important part in persuasive speaking and, depending on the situation, a speaker may reason from specific instance, from principle, causal reasons, or analogical reasons. In this speech, the speaker relies much on causal reasoning, which is a reasoning that seeks to establish the relationship between cause and effect. The speaker tried to relate the cause, which is farmed animal in factory farming, and the effect happened. He mentioned that animal farming was the cause of land and water pollution, leads to endangering the health and economics of rural Americans. However, there was a fallacy in his reasoning, which is false cause. The fact that one event happened after another does not mean that the first one is the cause of the second. This is because animal farming was not the only one that can lead to pollution. Waste disposal and illegal logging can also be the cause that leads to pollution. So, he should use proof or evidence from previous results from previous studies to support his statement.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Syamil bin Muhammad Shafar and my matric number is 262062. There are three ways to generate emotional appeal. The first one is using emotional language. The second one is developing vivid example, and the third is speech viscerality. In this speech, the speaker is using emotional language. For example, the speaker said that the situation is dire. Many of them, which is animal, are being confined in tiny cage. Their beak and tail are cut off without anesthetic. All this will have a really strong emotional appeal that can touch the audience heart. Besides that, the speaker also talk with sincerity. We can see how disappointed the speaker from his facial expression and also from his voice tone. Next, let we move into the second question, which is what method prepared for ending the speech. To prepare for ending the speech, the speaker is using the soft ending. The soft ending is a conclusion that generate emotional appeal by fading step by step into a final dramatic statement. For example, the speaker said that it might take a little longer than that, but it is clear that a huge change is coming. Another example that being used by the speaker is there is time at vital excitement and opportunity as we look ahead at one of the next great social movement. Humanity moral will continue to expand, but it is only if people like you and me take hold of it. And in the final statement, the speaker is saying that the change is only can be done if people want to take part of it. We can see from the word or phrase that you said by the speaker is fading a step into a step, and the last he made a final dramatic statement. Now, let we move to the last question, which is how does the speaker reinforce the central idea? There are four ways to reinforce the central idea. The first one is summarizing speech. The second one is ending with quotation. The third is making a dramatic statement. And the last is referring to introduction. In this speech, the speaker reinforces the central idea by using summarizing speech. Summarizing speech is restating the main point that he already mentioned before. For example, the speaker said that you can stand on the right side of the story and play a role in this exciting movement, whether it is by starting a business like a local restaurant or a clean meat company, becoming activist, making a donation or sharing on social media. All these points already been mentioned by the speaker before, but to reinforce the central idea and make the audience clear what the point that he want to focus, he restating this again.
In conclusion, this is the time for excitement and opportunity as we look ahead at one for next great social movement. Humanity's moral circle will continue expand if we play the same role and responsible to end animal farming. Thank you.